There we go. I think we're on now, right?
How can you tell?
Well, I think I see the green button.
Oh,
Yeah, you see yours right there?
I like the green button.
Yeah. So we're live on tax day. If you notice, there's a little space between Steve and I. So Jake and I, we may have a special guest pop in today, which would be nice, right?
That would be nice.
So before I get started, is there anything anyone would like to share? Well,
I do have a couple of questions.
All right.
First question is, this happened this morning, the remote for the TV said that the batteries were going dead, right? Mm-hmm. So there's two AAA batteries in there. Do you have to replace both of them? I feel like every single time I have ever replaced batteries, I replace all of them. Maybe I don't need to. Maybe it just needs like that little bloop, jolt.
Why does it take two batteries? Why don't they just make one that covers both,
Well,
right?
that would require the C.
It's too big for a remote.
What do you have that has a C battery in it?
Flashlights.
No.
Yeah, those big old flashlights.
No, those have D batteries, or they've got the 9. The C is like nothing ever uses the C. Hello. You don't look sick.
We got some special
You
guests
look
here. My parents are in
Maybe it's
town.
because I've got these bright lights in my eyes. I can't see the. You want to come on the show?
I don't think I can sit that long.
No.
Well, speaking
We'll do
of
a
which,
short show.
speaking of which, the topic tonight is COVID characters. And,
Oh wait, I got one more thing. I have one more thing. So this morning I had to fill out one of the many diversity forms that my clients are sending out now. They need to know about the diversity of our company. All these things. And what
what diversity are they asking though? Is it just like race?
It used to be just like, are you woman owned? Are you minority? This or that. But the one that I find interesting now that has been added to the list. What
you're going to say?
Which one is it?
What gender are you
at
this time?
Yeah, that's close. That's close. But it did ask if we are an LBGQ.
LGBTQ.
Right.
I think there's I now.
Yeah, the alphabets.
And V.
Yeah.
Oh, what's V stand? I think I've seen the V. Was it
Vegan?
Vegan.
No, if you don't eat meat, you classify as something like that.
Isn't that the same as asexual? You don't eat meat.
Anyway, so I just started thinking about this. Like, I don't know. I guess maybe because we've just been programmed your whole life about if you're African American or something like that, all the
male,
things
female,
there.
whatever. But that
right.
It's too that throws you for a loop.
So how is it? Could it just be like it? Like, how are they? First of all, how are they even checking this? How do they know? Like, can I just? I can't fill out a form and say I'm black, right?
Sure, you can. You can.
I can.
Yeah.
But that's a little harder to kind of pull off. But how are they checking? Yeah, how are they checking the other one?
But a couple questions below that question, they will say, you do not have to fill this out.
Yeah,
right.
Choose not to.
Yeah, but companies now won't do business with you if you don't show them that you're inclusive.
Right.
Inclusive in their definition.
Right. So of course I had ideas like, all right, well, is it worth a couple of government contracts, to go over the other side once, and then I started kind of looking into it, and it said that you have to be at least 51% ownership. You have to have at least. So I'm like, I can't even get Matt to do it. It has to be me. He doesn't have 51%, so it would have to be me. So then I started. I don't know, is it worth it?
But you're like Armenian, isn't that something?
Talking strictly about the alphabet right now.
Oh, Armenian's not included in the LGBT?
No, yeah. A. LBGTQIVA.
For fuck's sake. I don't know what to tell you, man.
I'm going to look into that, though.
Let me know.
Yeah.
Let us all know.
I just want to see what the form is. I want to see how you how do you get this certification? You know, does it like the real ID? You get a little star on your license.
I do. I'm with you on this. How do they check it?
How do they check?
Do they do a sting operation? Do they have somebody like state government do a sting operation and like get on Grindr?
Yeah.
Is that what's called? Something like that, right? Well, you know, I'm hoping this is the end of an era of what we're going to talk about today, because you know we've been going through this COVID, for lack of a better term, bullshit for just over a year.
Have you been out lately? Like went out? Just boom, walk in, no masks.
Yeah, I went to the grocery store, no mask. Everybody was still wearing masks.
I know,
and I'm like, no, I'm wearing a mask, right? So all this stems from recently here in our Olde North State, and for those that you know aren't allowed to take American history anymore because if you trigger somebody, that's North Carolina. They dropped or eliminated the mask mandate, the COVID mask mandate, which means with the exception of schools, right?
Yeah.
Schools have to still wear them, but everywhere else people don't have to wear masks. It's up to the business owner and the like, which is the way it should be anyway. I mean, a business owner should have the choice from day one. I believe that. So people pro and against it, whatever, right? So, but you know, all this rolled out about 14 months ago, and as soon as it came out, I guess it was Friday, right?
Yeah.
I mean, the first thing that came to my mind was that we have the epitome of this whole COVID thing is essentially we have evolved. We've had an evolution of holes. People are like, evolution of holes? I'm thinking, yeah, so we've gone really from just the common American asshole, right? Then we moved into different types of holes, different COVID characters. So I want to bring up some of the ones that I had ideas about and see what you think. Different COVID characters.
Okay.
And, you know, Pawpaw's over here. He can step in any time. He's eating his dinner. It's way past dinner time for you guys. Yeah. So a couple things here first, though. We got the word or phrase of the week, and I think it fits here perfectly. Sheeple. People.
Is that
people
new?
who are docile, compliant, or easily influenced? People liken the sheep. So we've seen the pervasiveness of sheeple in the past year.
Oh, it's getting worse too.
Yeah. So I thought that was an appropriate word of the day.
I had a word that I.
But you can't say sheep anymore. Wait, can they say that? Sheep? They have to change the name of sheep
No,
because
it's
it's
just
sheep.
Eep.
Yep.
I woke up in the middle of the night one time and I came up with this word just out of the blue. Gypnipitus.
Gypnipitus.
Yeah, it doesn't mean anything.
What do you think it means? So what would that?
I don't know. I've been trying to come up with the right way to use it.
Well, I'm thinking like
to me, it sounds like it's.
He couldn't go to work today because he caught the gypnipitus.
Yeah. Well, that's a gypnipitus attitude.
What could you possibly be drinking?
It's a good word, though, isn't it? I literally got up and I wrote it down. I'm like, I can't forget this word. Gypnipitus.
That's kind of, you can make a board game out of that or something.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
It'll come up again.
Well, okay, we have our word of the day. Word of the week, really, sheeple. Appropriate here. Now, COVID characters. Like I said, I don't know if I've given this a lot of thought. These terms came up as things went along. Now, one of them I think I saw before. I'm not saying that I coined it by any stretch, but I remember early on when I'm coming up. But the first thing that I thought of was when all this went down was, first one was just a regular asshole, right? We knew this species. I mean, we've we've run into assholes before our whole lives. I mean, people that, a cut driver, the driver cut-offer guys,
Right.
The people that just think that they own the road.
I think everybody has a percentage of that in there.
Sure.
See, now that should have been on the form that I had to fill out. What percentage of asshole are you?
Well, the people that do cut off drivers that are just rude, inconsiderate, and jump ahead. I always think of the airport, right? When people they're zone 7,
Right.
and they're standing up there in the front with all their little baggies blocking the way for you to get on the plane and stuff. That's just an asshole, right? I mean, or like
the asshole is the person that's not a zone 7 person. The zone 3s. And
the middle of the road.
2, 3, 4.
Yeah.
Those are the assholes.
Yeah, we're zone 1.
Yeah.
But
Moving
I
their way
also
up
think
through
of
everybody.
assholes just a regular like a Patriots or Red Sox fan, right?
Mm-hmm.
Just common assholes,
Those are massholes.
Red Sox,
Those are assholes.
Tom Brady, So those are just regular assholes. But I miss them, because
Right.
you knew what you were getting.
Right.
You knew what you were getting with a regular asshole and all that. But we've gone
You
way
didn't get into
past-
arguments with them. You know what I mean? They earned the title strictly from their actions,
Sure.
not their beliefs.
And I can actually I can befriend an asshole. I can do that as I've done. But that's just common good old American asshole. And you find out a lot of these times the asshole you get to know person they're really not, but they are openly. And I miss the regular old asshole. I did. But what we had was, when this COVID stuff first started and the mask mandate, you had the Maskhole. Remember the people that would, at first the Maskhole was, they claimed it was the person that wouldn't wear their mask. Just wear your mask, Karen, just wear your mask. Well, it kind of, I don't know, what do you call it? What do you call it when a gene...
Gypnipedus?
Gypnipedus. But,
So
when you have a gene split or something like that, well, actually, the opposite happened. The people that became the Maskholes were the Karens or the COVID Karens that were telling you, put your mask on.
Right.
And a personal story. I may have shared this, but at the gas pump, this is after all this went down. I went to the gas pump. I told you guys this, but went up here to the Cruiser's gas pump, and I'm by myself. I pull up there. It's June. It's sunny out. I'm outdoors, and I start pumping gas in the truck. I'm just kind of standing against the truck. And this lady pulls up in the pump on the same island, but across from me, next to me. And I'm just kind of standing there letting them,
Looking like an asshole?
Yeah. Looking like an asshole. And all of a sudden I hear her go, sir. And I knew she was talking to me, but I was ignoring her, which was drive her even more crazy. And I just went, and then she peeks her head around the island, the gas pump island, and goes, sir, put your mask on. We wear our mask here. And I just look at her and I look around like I'm outside. I didn't say anything, just kept pumping gas. She goes, sir, please put your mask on so we're all safe. And I said, ma'am, I wasn't saying a word. My mouth was completely closed, so there's no way I'm transmitting anything. But you are the one that's doing it because you and all your spittle when you're talking. If you would just be quiet, we wouldn't have a problem here. So that was my first encounter with what I called a maskhole. Now, if I had gone in the store, I would have followed their rules and said put a mask on, but I'm outside pump. And first, I was there first.
Right.
I was at the pump first. Stupid asshole. Maskhole.
I had my happy COVID case down at the beach. We were down at the beach. This was in about the same time. And I was just getting sick of it way back then. And we were riding on our bikes and I just started yelling happy COVID to everybody we saw on their balconies and things like that. We're like, happy COVID. Everybody's happy COVID. And then this is when all the restaurants were closed, but they were giving beer to go down on the boardwalk. So
they won't let you drink.
Yeah.
They won't let you carry open container during COVID.
Yeah.
Beer to go.
And this woman came up and she's like, I heard what you were saying about happy COVID. My grandmother just died of it. And I was like, oh my God. I said, I'm sorry, but I said, you're like 2 feet from me without a mask on and you're yelling at me right now. And she was just like,
all that spittle.
yeah.
Maskholes. What's your damn Maskholes?
She could tell I just was being a little gypnipitous, and she didn't like it.
Is it gypnipitous?
Gypnipitous.
Well, so, as that went on, we had that brief period. And this was a very short-lived species of a hole. Very short-lived. But we had the Cashhole. Remember the Cashhole?
What, where you couldn't, like, pay with cash or
Yeah,
anything?
they didn't have coins. Remember the coin shortage?
Oh, yeah.
Bunch of Cashholes, right? And so you had all these booths so you can't pay with cash. But then you had, the other extreme that was saying, the conspiracy theory saying, that's just the way the government wanted to track you.
Yeah.
You're paying cash, they can't track you. But I don't know, that was probably extreme. But you can't pay with cash?
Yeah.
I mean, isn't that illegal? Isn't it illegal? Don't they have to take
People
US
were
currency?
taking your credit card and they would like have it in their gloves and they would like you couldn't just the whole transfer of the whole. It's like, what is this?
Well, you remember when they put, like, in the stores, you had the little swipe thing, or you put your credit card in, and they put a plastic bag
Yeah,
over it?
that's all. Everybody's touching it.
So, but everybody's already touched
Yeah.
it, right? It doesn't make any sense.
Well,
By the way,
COVID knows these things. Like COVID's like, oh, I can't get in there.
Yeah.
There's a
Whoa,
piece of plastic
plastic
over
bag.
there. Let me go over here. Let me just do the safe thing. I'll just hang out right at the entrance of the restaurants.
up high.
Yeah. Yeah.
Or
Nowhere near the table.
the pathway between
Nowhere near the table.
the door and the table.
Yeah. Yeah. And on the way to the bathroom. It's the best place to.
By the way, look at the picture here we have. It's a picture I captured of a guy driving his car by himself, of course,
Oh, I meant to make those bumper stickers.
with a mask on and gloves on, by himself.
I wanted to make a bumper sticker that was like, you know how you see like the yellow ones on the back of the car that say like, be patient, student driver. I wanted to do one just like that, to be patient, person in car by themselves wearing mask. I was going to do that, but then all of a sudden they dropped the mask mandate. And I'm like, well, nobody's going to do that anymore. But I still see it.
So you're hoping for mask mandate?
Just for a couple of weeks, just so I can bring the sticker back. It's that gypnipitous.
I mean, so I remember, so when all this hit with the cash, the coin shortage, right? People were hoarding coins, right? Because they saw, and they went on Facebook and they saw their Aunt Mabel posting about, oh, everybody needs to save cash because, the government's coming after you if you don't save your coins and everything. So
I didn't think that's why they did that.
no, but that's what the extremist
That was
on the other
Mabel.
side said, right?
That was Mabel.
Yeah, Aunt Mabel was saying
Yeah.
that. So Aunt Mabel's nephew was like, oh, shit, I better start saving cash. So he somehow finds a Folgers coffee can, puts it on top of his fridge, and, like, every time he, like, before when people would see coins on the floor or on the ground, they wouldn't pick it up, right? Oh, it's just a penny.
Right.
People, like, during this were like, holy crap, I got to get the penny. And then, they were always saying, pick it up if it were silver. Well, so through all this, Aunt Mabel probably saved about $42 in coins.
Yeah, yeah.
So that went.
How do you get coins if you're not paying with cash? How do you get more coins?
Well, I remember going to the Sheets, and I paid cash for something, and they're like, we don't have any change. So they owed me say 13 cents. And I'm like,
They would always try to, they always worked it in their favor.
yeah, like, well, how am I out 13 cents?
Right.
What do you got for? Can I get a piece of Bazooka Joe? It was like, what are you talking about? How is there a coin shortage?
For the same reason that there was
Because
a
a bunch
cash
of
shortage is all
cash
because
holes.
people are
Cash
just
holes.
insane now. They don't.
Oh.
They did. No, I know. I agree with the term, but it kind of goes back to the whole sheeple thing. Like,
Yeah.
oh, there's no gas. Everybody go out and get as much gas as you can.
You went out this morning.
Fill
no
it with
problem.
plastic bags.
Filling up plastic bags of gasoline. Have you seen that?
Shopping bags of
There were
gas.
plastic
What was she
that were
going to do with
filling up
that?
Plastic bags of gasoline.
Where was this?
This it's probably California, I'm sure, or Florida.
Probably North Carolina.
Probably so. Yeah. Well, but they realized and I say the elite class, or I call them the elite political class, soon realized that the coin shortage just wasn't cutting it, right? They weren't, so it just didn't really take off like they thought it might. So, what's next? What other holes did we evolve? Well, we went from the Cashhole to the Vaxhole. So we're in the midst of the Vaxhole right now, right? For everybody, in the Vaxhole I described as somebody that, the busybody. And by the way, all these people were busybodies before, right? But now they have these missions of little things that they can feel empowered to tell you that you're not doing it right, and they can be the Karen, right?
I used to be a Vaxhole. That was for the vasectomy. I was like, I'm not doing it. And I was like, I guess I conformed.
That's a great point. So Jake just shared that he had his nuts cut, right?
Not
That's your you got them cut or snipped, right?
Right.
Whatever they do to it, right?
They were like,
So you have no problem sharing with the world that you had your nuts.
well, I haven't really brought it up recently until this whole thing happened.
Well, but
Share yours.
that's your that's your own.
He's like, I'm so glad I'm not in that seat over there.
That's your
No,
own.
he's smart. He's a smart man.
Your own private health concern, right? But you're okay with sharing that. It's up to you, though, right?
Right.
Okay. Would you be okay with?
I would never go around and asking people, though.
Okay. God, you're like walking right into this.
I know where you're going. I'm just trying to help.
So, so the Vaxholes. The Vaxholes are the people that are about. Have you gotten your vaccine? Have you gotten your shot? Have you gotten your shot? You should get your shot.
Right.
You should get your shot. First of all, well, this isn't the show for talking about the viability or efficacy of the shot, because how does the entire New York Yankees team get? They were all vaccinated, but they are all
Right.
wiped out because of COVID. Not wiped out.
Well, I mean, that's a whole nother thing, though. It's like, just because you get COVID, you're not dead.
Yeah, and that's really not what we're talking about here, but that is a whole other point. But the whole Vaxhole thing is these people now are like, did you get your vaccinations? I won't name names. Let's just call this guy.
You're going to name names.
Let's just
You're
call
going
this.
to name it enough that I'm going to know who you're talking about, probably.
Let's just say.
And I'm the only other person that listens to this show.
Hypothetically, I coach with another person. His name is Friss, and his last name is Meon.
Okay.
And Friss Meon is and I'm making this as hypothetical.
Right.
Friss Meon's
You're just being gypnipitous.
yes. That might be.
We're going to find the term. We're going to find the definition of this word before the end of the
And
show.
Friss Meon is the PE teacher at a school that's K through 8. It's a private school. Let's just say it's a private school. It's K through 8, right? And Friss Meon,
Yeah, I think that's what you call them.
Friss Meon, he wants to get the kids outside. I mean, for PE, right? Before they couldn't, no, we can't do it because COVID and everything else. Well, now that the mask mandate has been lifted, he went to the head of the school, hypothetically, and said, hey, can we go outside now? And not wear a mask outside. Head of school said, that's a great idea. I think we're good to go. Excuse me. And but a parent said, only if the teacher has been vaccinated.
Wait a minute. They're in the classroom with the teacher.
Right. But the parent didn't want them to be able to go outside without masks unless the teacher was vaccinated.
Her child's in the classroom, in a closed environment. She's okay with that. Doesn't question it.
Well, because the kids have their masks on inside.
Well, they were supposed to
Right.
outside too, right? But they were lifting the man being outdoors.
Right.
First of all, that's a Vaxhole. She, the parent, is a Vaxhole. That is the epitome of a Vaxhole.
No.
So yeah, you can say,
I'm running too fast.
But he said, what do I do? What do I do with that? Well, I told him. I said, here's what I would do. I even wrote it down for him. I said, here's the conversation I would have. I would say, because this happened to me with a neighbor. Neighbor says, and the neighbor is truly a Vaxhole. I mean, the neighbor is really an asshole, but neighborly to
Now just has a
person and everything
reason.
else. Yeah.
Has a
So
advanced.
busybody neighbor, right? The one that doesn't want kids to get off my lawn, kind of person. Never had a problem directly with this person, but said, "Have you gotten your vaccine yet?" To me, and so I told, hypothetically, I would tell Frisk Meon the same thing, and I said, "I don't think that's any of your business, whether I had it or not. I don't think it's any of your business. Just like, so what happened to HIPAA law, right?" And he says, "Well, it is kind of my business, considering that you could hurt others by having coronavirus and everything else, and you could spread it. So I think it is kind of our business." And I said to him, "I see your point, I guess. Let me ask you something. Let's call him Fong." I said, "Fong, let me ask you something. Have you got your STD vaccine yet?" I mean, you could have like venereal warts and everything, genital warts and things like that could be contagious. Have you gotten your? And he goes, "I don't think that's any of your bit." He realized mid-sentence that he was doing the same thing. So I said, when people ask you,
Wait, there is a vaccine for that?
Yeah, you can. It turns out
Can you get it at Costco?
You can get a vaccine for hepatitis and HPV. Like they're trying to make kids take that HPV, that humopapillovirus, or whatever. I never even heard of that shit.
Yeah. From age 12?
I don't know what's going on. But, I mean, he epitomized the Vaxhole.
Get a pen, I'm going to write this down.
What? The hepatitis, where you get the warts and shit like that. I mean, so it's not nobody's business, but and I'm telling you right now, the dang, the vaccine passport's on its way. I think that's why they said, okay, because they say you can go maskless if you've had your vaccine.
Yeah.
But you have to show evidence.
Well, so yeah, I mean, what do you do now? You go in a place where they want to see. I mean, is there going to be a passport? Forget about it. Forget about it. That might be the end of it all. But so you got the Vaxholes, and they're out there now. They're all over the place. The Vaxholes are. And I'm not saying
every minute.
I'm not saying anybody shouldn't get the vaccine. If you want to get the vaccine, get the vaccine. And I hate using the term vaccine because it's not a vaccine. It's gene therapy. But if you want to, that's fine. But it's none of your damn business what anybody else wants. You got nothing else to add on that? You're in? No, you're still pontificating if you can get the STD vaccine.
I'm trying to run it through my head a number of times so I don't forget what it is.
Yeah, there's two. There's there's nothing for gonorrhea.
You didn't hear that earlier.
I did. I still don't know what it is.
For venereal diseases.
Well, they used to call it venereal disease.
Well, I've had that.
Well, I've seen the picture.
Come on over here. Let me hear that story.
Yes, that's a great story. Come on.
Tell us the venereal disease story. Your son's
That
interested.
is. Well, that was, you were in Korea, right?
Yeah.
You have to.
No. I plead the fifth.
You should have done that about 5
Well,
minutes ago.
didn't he say, I've had that?
Well, you have a picture?
Yes. So,
Wait, there's
let
pictures of this?
me tell you the funny thing is about that. What I understand about STDs is you don't get rid of them. They're always there. You have to. So do you have flare-ups?
I'm not part of it.
You and say, I don't think that's any of your business.
Yeah, that's a.
That would have been a great punchline. None of your business. But you brought it up. I didn't bring it up. Oh. What other hole do you think has reared its ugly head here recently? We've had the traditional asshole. We had the Maskhole. Mm-hmm. We had the Cashhole. The Vaxhole, which is running rampant right now. What else is running rampant? Have you noticed any other hole?
No.
Oh. What's happened recently? What's in the news now? What's everybody's concerned about? What's the shortage?
The gas hole.
Oh, the gas hole?
The gas hole. So you now have the gas hole. I mean, think about it. I mean, and introducing, I should say. I should lead up the gas hole, right? So as soon as the story broke about the pipeline getting hacked, I mean, I think it was a Saturday. I was at baseball practice. Saturday, saw it. I said, you know what? As soon as I leave here, I'm going to fill up my tank. Because I know what's going to happen. People are going to go, oh my God, pipeline hack. It's like the toilet paper.
Well, you did it.
But I needed gas anyway, so I said I'm going to go ahead and do it before the prices get jacked up. So I just went in and filled up. Now,
it's kind of like when there's a hurricane coming through.
Right.
Or something
things, are like bad weather's coming through. I tell people to fill up their tanks just because you don't know if they're going to get power to things. But it wasn't until Sunday night or Monday, though, until people started freaking out. Because by that time, I guess it got to their TikTok or whatever their...
See, it didn't hit us at Myrtle till Wednesday morning. I think everybody started going a little crazy.
Yeah, so people so they see everybody. It was like the whole toilet paper stuff,
right?
Toilet paper towels. Yeah. Now I go into Lowe's or Home Depot and they have a whole section stacked floor to ceiling of paper towels. Yeah, because
they don't know what to do with them.
Yeah,
and they're a warehouse.
Yeah. So the whole gas thing, but the gas hole. I mean, there's two sides to the gas hole here. There's the person that goes and takes plastic bags and fills them up, literally fills them up with gasoline. And people that go to Home Depot or Lowe's and buy all the gas cans and fill them up. What are they going to put? So their house is going to burn.
Right, yeah.
So their house is going to burn down. So you have that side of it.
The explosion hole.
Yeah. You have hoarders of the gasoline. But then you have the other side of the Karens that are like bitching at people. You're being selfish for you. I saw somebody posted on a social media thing I'm on, I think next door or something. They're like, look at this. I think they said asshole. I would have said gasshole. Look at this asshole filling up all these cans of gas and putting them in his truck and everything else. It's just so selfish. And you look, and the guy's wearing overalls. He's going
to go cut everybody's grass in the neighborhood.
He's wearing overalls. No,
he's a grass hole.
He's a farmer. He had a farm truck.
A farm hole?
He's a farmer. I'm like, why are you guys getting on the guy? He's actually doing the things that feed you. But a bunch of gas. That's the other side of the gas hole. That's the people that are like, you're selfish and you're not doing what's right. I mean, for fuck's sake.
Well, there's the woke holes.
The woke holes. Yeah, we've had those for a couple of years now, right?
Yeah, but not like this.
That's right.
This is crazy.
You got to put that and add that to our list here, right?
Woke hole.
What's a woke? I read about it, but I don't know what it is.
Good question. Tell them what a woke is.
What is woke? Woke is
people that have all of a sudden realized that we've been oppressing, people. Or
they're just waking up.
They're waking up to the fact that
we're
America's
a systemically racist nation.
Systemically racist, or so. It's like Coke. Coke got woke. Remember when Coke got woke?
Yeah.
And they went broke because Coke mandated everybody have that. What was it? Don't be so white. Training.
Yes. Yeah.
Training.
Cherry Towns went off of Coke for a week.
Yeah.
It's 12 cans a day.
Yeah. This guy drinks 12 cans of Coke a day, and he's done it since I've known him. I mean, 50
he's
years.
back on it.
He's 74 years old, 73 years old.
He drinks like not Diet Coke, like Coke,
Coke,
but he weighs about 140, maybe.
Well, no, maybe now about 160.
160. Wow.
Yeah. But yeah, well.
He probably could weigh 140 if he didn't drink all that sugar. It's going right to his gut.
It's starting to sound like a Neil Bortz.
Oh. Oh. That'll get me in trouble. Well, it's funny. So, speaking of being offended and worried about stuff like that and being woke, it's my mother and father are here, so you can hear them, but neither one of them want to come on screen because my father's afraid he might get fired from his job as the president of the Woodworkers Guild.
No, past
president.
They can
president emeritus.
They can take the title away from you from the past too, all because of the wokeness.
Good.
Your son's gonna bring you down.
And I could be thrown off pickleball.
That's right. You'd be good. And they're here. By the way, they're here. Let's just tell them why they're here. Tell everybody why they're here. They're here because their grandson graduated from UNC Chapel Hill, which reflects their politics too. That's why they're afraid they're woke and don't want to be on the show. But ironically, they haven't been here. They've not seen the parlor. This is the first time we've seen the parlor, right?
This is true.
Let's keep in mind that the parlor's been here for 2 years now. 2 years.
You haven't been here for 2 years?
Let's keep in mind, have we been invited?
Well, they didn't.
For fuck's sake, have they been invited?
Does
anybody get invited to my house?
You didn't have many rooms open at the end for that period
You
of
never
time.
know if there's a room.
You had some
But
long-term guests here.
They basically got stuck here.
Yeah.
So, they got stuck here because of the grandson's graduation. So they came and they were planning on leaving, but because of the Gashholes, couldn't get out. No, but it was great to have them here. Great to have them here.
And they donated to beautiful lake.
Yes. Oh, yes. For
Oh, that
Gile
was
there
you
is
guys?
a
You guys did that?
Well,
That
it was a gift to him at your 50th,
60.
60th birthday.
Wow.
It was a gift to him at the 60th birthday.
Made by the guy who drinks 12 Cokes a day.
Yep. And
Jeez,
he was
everything
never
circles right back to this guy, isn't it?
he was never allowed to display it. She never allowed. And when she heard you told me, you said it will never be displayed here. That's when you gave it to me.
I put it in the kitchen,
It's just a leg.
the front kitchen window of my home during the holidays when we first moved
Well,
in.
of course, yeah. Okay. But then it couldn't be out year round, and you heard that I had a parlor, and you're like, oh, I got the perfect thing for it. And it's nice.
Get rid of this
Yes.
thing. Came up in a crate that said fragile.
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 Must be Italian.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, that's where that came from. So, but it always comes back to the guy that drinks 12 Cokes a day, of course. So let's see what
Is
else
he
we
back
got.
on? Back to Coke?
Oh, yeah. He was only off week. He
So he
tried,
did
as I said,
really-
he tried Pepsi.
Well, think about it. 12 Cokes a day, 12 pack of Coke a day. What's that? That's like
A lot.
That's like $4, right?
Right.
That's like a pack of cigarettes. What's a pack of smokes now a day? Anybody know?
It's like 1,000 grams of sugar a day.
Well, I understand that, but I'm saying just the cost, right?
It's at least 5.
5. Pack of smokes about the same thing. I don't know. Okay.
I don't know.
More.
Yeah, I don't know.
That's more.
Are there any other holes you foresee though coming up? When we get the gas hole now, and I'm thinking the gas hole is going to have a death like the Cashhole did, right? It's not, but they're going to come up with something else.
Well, this isn't going away. Just because the mask thing is gone today, it's coming back. They're just like they're going to get it back. They don't like the fact they don't have this power. The mask is power to them. It's
Who's
like
they?
the nuts in the government.
So the elite ruling class.
Yeah.
The people in power.
Yeah. But there's got to be something else. So the gas thing's out because that'll take care of itself. I think free market will take care of that, right? So
Well, you're going to have
next?
the electric car hole or whatever.
The Prius hole,
Yeah.
the pre-hole.
Yeah, like if you're not driving a car that's electric, you're going to be you're going to be frowned upon.
What just baffles me about the whole electric car thing, though, is you think about it. How are those cars powered? How's an electric car powered?
Electricity.
Battery.
Yeah.
So the battery has to be charged, right? How's the battery charged? How do you charge that battery?
Electricity.
Electricity. Where's the electricity come from?
Cool.
Coal. Coal.
It kind of circles back. That's gypnipidus.
And batteries. Well, you started out to talk about the AAA battery. What happens to the batteries? What do you do with them? Like when they're done
Put them in a landfill.
You're not supposed to put them in a landfill because they ooze all sorts of shit, phosphorus and stuff, right? So all these batteries have phosphorus. Nobody talks about it. Am I the only one who talks about this stuff?
Nobody, because everybody's stupid. They're just stupid. We went from getting like 1 or 2% more stupid every year. We jumped like it used to be about 68% of people were stupid. Then it would go up to 69.5, and then 71, whatever. But it jumped now it's going up 5 to 7% per year. These are just my own internal numbers,
Yes.
of course. This is not factual, so don't bring this back to the community down in Myrtle Beach. Say, you know what I heard?
You know what I heard?
Yeah, don't actually nothing from this show. Don't repeat any of this, except your own stories about gonorrhea and things like that. You can share that in your community.
Gonorrhea is barely better. So I saw this meme. This is probably an older one though, but as soon as I heard about the mask mandate, I thought about the picture here. It says me wearing no mask and going the wrong way down every aisle at Walmart. I have to say, and I wasn't doing it to be
Gypnipidus?
an asshole. Wasn't doing it to be an asshole or an asshole. But I never followed the one-way signs in the store.
Stupid.
That didn't make any sense. How is that, people are still going to be close to each other even if they follow. And, I wasn't going to go I'm at the end now. I got to walk all the way around and go, no. So
Walmart was they had there's the one store that I typically go to. There were two two entrances. They closed one completely. Who? Why? How?
So Target did that. The Target up here did that. And as soon as I don't go to Target or Walmart much anyway, but as soon as the Target did that, I'm like, I'm not doing it. I'm not going because there's parking available over here. I don't need to be on that side of the store where there's open and exit. I need right here. But they closed it because of COVID.
Yeah.
But doesn't that pack more people?
Into one space. Yeah.
Like I said, I would love to be in these meetings where people go, okay, here's our rules on COVID. I'll be going,
Excuse me, that's stupid.
Science is awesome. Hey, you got anything to add before we shut down the show?
Publix did that, Jim.
Yeah, all the stores.
Fauci just spoke at what?
UNC.
Was that the one that you guys were at?
But it wasn't. It was video feed.
All the speakers.
Jake's girlfriend graduated, and she was like, "Yeah, he was."
Wait, Jake has a girlfriend? No?
Yeah.
Oh.
We tap your phone. She said basically it was just wear your mask.
Yeah.
It's like drink your Ovaltine. You can see him getting a little decoder thing from Fauci and be like, wear your mask.
Wait,
what?
That was from the decoder thing. Well,
anyway.
Well, that kind of brings us to the conclusion of the show today. But of course, always, you can always go to YouTube and search. Now that's a show. You can actually do, for fuck's sake, now that's a show that may put you in YouTube jail.
Yeah, how many of these have there been?
Oh, this is episode 12.
There's about a gypnipidus.
I'm going to say we're 25, 26.
And this is the first I've heard about it.
Well, you know more than most.
We're just
It's only because I was forced to say it.
I know.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I
All
would.
You were offered to be on the
because
show.
The potatoes were late.
So next time we'll see you on That's a Show. I have no idea what the topic will be. We'll just figure that out.
But we can't talk about COVID.
No. I think next week
Unless it comes back.
because we're at graduation
It's coming
time.
back.
College and high school graduation. I think we need to do an episode on my advice. If I were a commencement speaker, which I'll never be asked to be a commencement speaker.
I don't think so, no.
No, but I have. I do have some. I do have what I think would be great advice to graduating seniors from high school or college. I think we
Kindergarten.
even kindergarten. I think it's life lessons, and they're pretty simple. It's 3 basic rules. I think that's a topic we could do, and then you could come with yours. You could come with your, like, if you were to be the commencement speaker, what would you tell them?
Oh, we can wear like hats and stuff, like the little graduating hats. What do you
Where
call
do
them?
you get those?
Cap and gown thing?
Yeah.
I don't know. I'd probably get a
Dollar
couple of
store.
them.
Just get
Yeah.
some hats.
Yeah.
I don't think we do. Yeah. Well, anyway,
We should do
until
that.
next time, we'll see you on That's the Show.